There is a specific dollar amount that fundamentally rewires your human psychology. It is the exact point where your brain stops living in survival mode and starts playing to win. It isn't $1,000,000, it's $10,000. Picture this. It's 3 in the morning. You're staring at the ceiling, and your mind is a racing car of financial anxiety. You're calculating the cost of a blown tire, a broken laptop, or an emergency vet visit. For most people, these aren't just inconveniences, they are potential catastrophes. When you have zero savings, life isn't an adventure, it's a minefield. You are playing constant defense. You're at the grocery store, mentally debating the cost of name-brand cereal versus the generic box, because a $3 difference feels like a high-stakes risk. You decline dinner with friends because a $30 bill will derail your entire month. This is the survival mindset, and it is exhausting. It drains your mental battery before you even start your day. I study the intersection of money and human behavior. Most people think financial milestones are just arbitrary numbers, but there is actual biology behind why $10,000 changes everything. Neuroscientists have found that chronic financial stress literally alters your brain chemistry. It keeps your amygdala, your brain's fear center, on high alert. This floods your system with cortisol, the primary stress hormone. When you hit the $10,000 milestone, you aren't just changing your bank balance, you are flipping a biological switch. Studies show that having a 5-figure safety net slashes cortisol levels. Suddenly, that check engine light on your dashboard isn't a countdown to disaster, it's just an annoyance. You're frustrated, sure, but you aren't panicked. This shift from panic to inconvenience is the single greatest upgrade you can give your nervous system. When you stop gasping for financial air, you finally start thinking clearly. Think about how much mental energy you waste every day on tiny financial micro-decisions. Should I pack a sandwich? Can I afford the premium gas? Is this subscription worth $10? Psychologists call this decision fatigue. Each of these survival-based calculations burns through your mental bandwidth. By the end of the day, your brain is already cooked. But with $10,000 in the bank, 90% of those micro-decisions simply vanish. You don't choose the generic pasta because you're scared of your balance. You choose it because you actually prefer it. Removing that constant weight of "can I afford this?" unlocks a massive amount of mental energy. This is the energy you can finally redirect toward the things that actually build wealth, like learning a new skill, starting a side hustle, or performing better at your job. The most underrated effect of this milestone is the identity shift. When you have nothing, you are desperate. Desperate people make bad deals. You can't negotiate a raise because you can't afford to lose the job. You can't walk away from a toxic boss because you're 2 weeks away from being on the street. $10,000 is your walk-away fund. It gives you the confidence to carry yourself differently in every room you enter. You negotiate better because you aren't operating from a place of fear. You take calculated risks because you have a floor to catch you. The person with $10,000 saved is actually closer to financial independence than a 6-figure earner with zero savings. Why? Because the saver has developed the most important skill in wealth building, the ability to keep what they earn. Income is just a number. Mindset is the engine. Reaching $10,000 is your masterclass in financial maturity. Why is 10,000 the magic number? Because it covers the mathematical reality of life. Most car repairs cost between $500 and $3,000. Most medical deductibles or home repairs fall under $5,000. $10,000 effectively makes you immune to 99% of the financial disasters that keep people stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. It gives you 3 to 6 months of breathing room. If you lose your job tomorrow, you don't have to take the first desperate offer that comes your way. You can be selective. You can find the right opportunity instead of the only opportunity. This breathing room is the foundation of every strategic financial decision you will ever make. Saving $10,000 sounds like a mountain when you're struggling to save 100. But the hardest part isn't the money, it's the habit. The first 1,000 is brutal. It requires a complete overhaul of your willpower. But the second 1,000 is easier. By the time you're working toward your 5th or 6th 1,000, the process feels almost automatic. You stop viewing money as something that disappears from your check and start seeing it as a tool that multiplies your options. The average person spends over $3,000 a year on convenience, dining out, wasted subscriptions, and impulse buys. Redirecting just a fraction of that gets you to the finish line in less than 3 years. You don't need to save it all at once, you just need to start the engine. $10,000 isn't just a number in a banking app, it is a complete psychological transformation. It is the difference between staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning and sleeping with the peace of mind that you can handle whatever tomorrow throws at you. If your balance looks like a phone number from the 1950s, don't panic. Start small, stay consistent, because the person you become while saving your first $10,000 is infinitely more valuable than the money itself. Hit the subscribe button if you're ready to stop playing defense. I'll see you in the next one.